Hi students, welcome to Diamond Group of Institutions, NEET and KCET online classes. Today we are going to discuss about the moving charges and magnetism. So in this chapter we have all the standard formulas only. So practice the formulas before going to practice the problems. First practice the formulas, next go through the problems. So see the first problem in the moving charges and magnetism. The magnetic field at the point of intersection of diagonals of a square side wire loop of side L carrying. So the square wire is the L length, side is the L and carrying a current I. So then they are asking the magnetic field at the intersection point of the diagonals. Okay, so now at this point we have to find the magnetic field. So now here, if the wire is the infinity length, okay, suppose if infinity length wire is there, we have to find the magnetic field somewhere here at some r distance from here. This r is the perpendicular distance from the wire. So now this is the infinite length wire. So this end is making the some angle theta 1 and this end is making the angle theta 2. Okay, then you know already formula. The formula is nothing but the magnetic field equal to the mu naught by 4 pi into I by r sin theta 1 plus sin theta 2. Already you know this formula. Okay, so remember this formula. So now here same thing here also we are using. So this is the length of the wire, this is the length of the wire, this length. So here instead of the infinite wire they given the some length of the wire, finite length of the wire, and next we have to measure the angle, how much angle making this end with the center, how much angle make by this end with the center, that we have to find and substitute in the formula, we will get the answer. Okay, one more thing you have to remember, sometimes what they will give, suppose this is the wire we have, this is the wire. Now we have to find the magnetic field at this point. That means this point is below this end. So now this end, okay, this end. So this time we have to draw the extend this line and draw the perpendicular line from. That means here in the formula mu naught 4 pi into I by r, we are saying that r is nothing but the perpendicular distance from the wire. So now extend this one. So from here to here we have the perpendicular distance r. This end is making the angle theta 1. This end is making the angle theta 2. This end is this end. This point is below this end. So then take this angle as a minus. If it is middle of these 2 points, then no problem, sin theta 1 plus sin theta 2 plus only we will take. But if the point is below this end, then this angle from the here to here angle is a theta 2 now, then this angle you have to take the minus. So this end is making the theta 1, so no problem, plus only. But this end, suppose same thing, the wire is like this and the point is here now. Okay, so from here to here, and we have to extend this wire to here. So from here to here is the perpendicular distance. This end is making some angle. So this end is making the angle theta 1 and this end is making the angle theta 2. This point is above this end. Then whatever this how much angle this end is making, that we have to take the minus. This angle is the plus. Remember that one. Okay, when we have to take minus, when we have to take plus means that. Okay, so here the formula is mu naught by 4 pi into I by r sin theta 1 plus sin theta 2. R is the perpendicular distance from the point to the wire and the theta 1 is the angle made by the one end with that point perpendicular distance and the theta 2 is the other angle. Okay, now see here this end, this wire is there. So now magnetic field, here what is the magnetic field of this wire we have to find. First we have to decide the direction of the magnetic field. To find the direction of the magnetic field, use the right hand. Okay, the right hand, what you have to do, keep the thumb in the direction of the current and stretch the fingers where we have to find the magnetic field. So and this palm is there, the palm will show the direction of the magnetic field. Otherwise just bend the finger, the bending of this finger will show the direction of the magnetic field. Now see, first where current is going upward direction, keep the thumb in the upward direction and stretch the fingers toward the point. Here I have to find. Now palm is showing the magnetic field direction inward. Okay, inside magnetic field direction is inside. For same way like this, so my current is going in this direction, so keep the finger that direction and magnetic field is here we have to find, stretch the finger to that side, so palm is showing, so inside. Here also magnetic field due to this wire also inside only, and here same thing you have to, current is going downside, so current is going downside and stretch the finger toward the point where we have to find the magnetic field, palm is showing the magnetic field inside. And for this also current magnetic field inside. So due to the 4 wires we are getting the magnetic field inward direction only. That means the total magnetic field is sum of the magnetic fields due to these 4 wires. Okay, so that means if we find the magnetic field due to the 1 wire, then that is enough, then multiply with the 4, we will get the answer. So see now here, and the next one more thing you have to remember, in the square, so the angle made by the diagonals is nothing but the 90 degrees, already you know. So now from this point I am drawing the perpendicular line to this wire. Okay, now this angle will be divided into the 45 degrees, 45 degrees. That means this end is making 45 degrees, this end also making the 45 degrees. Now length is the L, length of the wire equal to the L. Now this point to the this wire, this perpendicular distance we have to find how much we will get. So from trigonometry we can see that means this length we know. That means this is the bisector bisecting. So total length is the L. This is nothing but the L by 2. From here to here it is the L by 2. So this length we have to find. Tan 45 opposite side by adjacent side. Opposite side ka length is L by 2. Adjacent side. This length we don't know. That is x. I am assuming x. So tan 45 value is 1. Then x equal to how much? L by 2. That means the perpendicular distance from the point to this wire is nothing but the L by 2. Perpendicular distance we got, 2 angles we got, then substitute in the formula, we will get the answer. So due to this wire, magnetic field at this point due to the first wire is V1 equal to mu naught by 4 pi into I by R into sin theta 1 plus sin theta 2. This is the formula. Now mu naught by 4 point I by R is nothing but the perpendicular distance of the point from this wire. How much perpendicular distance? L by 2. So L by 2. Sin theta 1 is nothing 45 degrees, theta 2 also 45 degrees. So substitute here sin 45 1 by root 2, sin 45 1 by root 2. Okay, simplify this one, mu naught by 4 pi, L by 2 2 will go upside, 2I by L, 1 by root 2 plus 1 by root 2, 2 by root 2. Okay, 2 by root 2. And next mu naught by 4 pi into 2I by L into 2 by root 2, we can write it as a root 2. So root 2. So here 2 root 2 I by L we will get. This is the magnetic field due to the single wire. But here they are asking the magnetic field due to the all the wires at the center, this intersection point of the diagonals. All the magnetic fields are inside only. So add up the magnetic fields. So all that means through the all the wires same current flowing, same current is flowing, same length, same angles makes. That's why total magnetic field equal to the 4 into magnetic field due to the single wire, then 4 into magnetic field to the single wire, then multiply, we will get the answer mu naught into 2 root 2 I by pi L. So answer is the D is the right answer. Okay, see the next question. 2 identical coils, each of radius R and each carrying a current I, the same direction, are placed along a common axis and separated by a distance R. Then magnetic field, that means these options they are given. We have to find the magnetic field at the distance x equal to the R by 2. So here they given the 2 coils. Okay, I took the 2 coils here, 2 coils, and the next to both next what they mentioned, the current flowing through the 2 coils in the same direction. So I am considering in the clockwise direction. In the both the coils current direction is clockwise. And the next to see are placed along the common axis. So this is the common axis along this one only. And the next separated by a distance R. Okay, these two are separated by the R distance. From here to here distance is the R and the radius also R. And they are asking the magnetic field. So in the options, according to the options, in all options they are asking the magnetic field at x equal to the R by 2. Okay, so here I said already in the moving charges you have the standard formulas. If you remember formula, then only you can do the problem. So standard formula is, so due to the circular coil at one point, the magnetic field due to the circular coil at one point, the formula is this one, mu naught I R square by 2 into x square plus R square whole power 3 by 2. This formula you have to remember. If you remember, then only you can solve this problem. Okay, so here x is nothing but the distance of the point from the center of the coil. Okay, so x is the distance of the point from the center of the coil. R is nothing but the radius of the coil. These 2 points you have to remember. So now I am applying this formula to the first coil and second coil. So for the first coil, this point is x distance from the center. I assumed actually the distance between these 2 coils are separated by the R distance. So now this point is x distance from the first coil. Then what is the distance from the second coil? R minus x. Okay, so now I am applying this formula to first coil and second coil. For first coil, mu naught I r square by 2x square plus r square whole power 3 by 2, same for, as it is standard formula. Next, apply this formula to the second coil. For second coil, mu naught I r square is the same 2 into x place mein we will get the distance of the point from the center of the coil, r minus x. So now x place mein we have to substitute the r minus x whole square plus r is the radius of the coil, same as usually, so power 3 by 2. And the next one more thing, either what is the direction of the magnetic field due to the first coil and the second coil we have to find. So already I said to you in the first problem, use the right hand, keep the thumb in the direction of the current and stretch the fingers toward the point where we have to find the magnetic field. Once you see now, for the first coil, current is going in the downward direction and magnetic field we have to find here. So current is going downward direction, see right hand, current is going downward direction, magnetic field here we have to find P. So outward direction we are getting magnetic. So due to this coil, magnetic field is outward direction. And come to see this one, this coil, here current is going upward direction, we have to find the magnetic field here. Keep the thumb in the direction of the current and stretch the fingers in the where we have to find the magnetic field here. So palm is showing the magnetic field, so magnetic field is outward. So due to both coils, the current magnetic field direction is outward only. Then the total magnetic field at this point is sum of the magnetic field of these two coils. So now the total magnetic field is B1 plus B2. B1 is the magnetic field due to the first coil, B2 is the magnetic field due to the second coil. Already we got the values. Substitute these values here and simplify. And next, after simplification, you have to substitute the at x plus r by 2. Okay, if you substitute at x plus r by 2, what you are getting, you have to do the simplification. Pause the video and do the simplification. You will get the answer 0.8 into square root of 0.8 mu naught I by r. So B option is the right answer. This answer you will get, simplify it. Okay, next see the third question. A current I is flowing in a conductor shaped as shown. Okay, what is the shape of the conductor? The given diagram. Okay, the radius of the curved part is r. So this is the curved part. So radius of this curved part is nothing but the r they given, and the length of the straight portion is very long. So this is the straight portion and this one also straight portion. Very long means so infinite length. Okay, so the value of the magnetic field at the center O will be, at the center we have to find the magnetic field. Okay, so here we have the one circular arc we have and infinite length wire we have. Okay, so semi infinite wire. Okay, I am redrawing the diagram here. Okay, so current is going in this direction, so like this is nothing but the clockwise direction going. So you have to remember, already I said standard formulas. So this is the wire, okay, semi infinite length wire. So at this point we have to find the magnetic field. So already in the first problem we discussed, the formula is mu naught by 4 pi into I by r sin theta 1 plus sin theta 2, this formula. Okay, so here r, I said r is nothing but the perpendicular distance from point to the wire, and the next theta 1 is one angle made by the one end. So this end is at the infinite, so this end will make the angle is the 90 degrees. So this end will make the angle is the 0. So sin theta 1 is nothing but 90, theta 2 is nothing but 0. So mu naught by 4 pi into I by r is nothing but the perpendicular. So from here to here, perpendicular distance is nothing but the radius of the circular arc, r only. So by r into this side is making the 90 degrees and this end is making the 0 degrees. So sin 90 plus sin 0 equal to, after simplification we will get the mu naught by 4 pi into I by r. Sin 90 value is 1, sin 0 value is 0. And the next one, second, this is the first part completed. Next is come to the second part, curved part. Okay, so due to the curved part, magnetic field we have to find. Remember the formula, standard formula. So the formula is for the curved part, B equal to the mu naught by 4 pi into I by r, or capital R you can take, or smaller, whatever it is, I by r, into either angle. What is the angle made by that arc? Okay, see now mu naught by 4 pi into I by r is nothing but the radius of that circular arc, and pi, how much angle it is making, the angle made by the arc. So see now, this is the arc now. Okay, so this end is here and this end is here. The angle made by this one we have to find. This angle, how much is this angle? Don't consider this angle. The angle between the two ends, this is the one end, this is the one more end. The angle between these two ends we have to find. Okay, so that angle how much we have to find. See now, here this is the extension of this wire, and from here to here this point. So this angle is nothing but the 90 degrees. Then what is the angle of this one? total angle is the 360. 360 minus 90, 270. 270 we can write it as the 3 pi by 2. So in this formula, mu naught by 4 pi into I by r is nothing but the radius. Radius they given smaller into pi. Pi value how much angle we are getting? 3 pi by 2. So second case mein we are getting mu naught by 4 pi into I by r into 3 pi by 2. Okay, completed. And next come to the third one. Third one also semi-infinite wire. So if the point magnetic, where we have to find the magnetic field means at the center. If the point is on the wire or if the point is on the extended wire, okay. So this is the wire now. I am extending this wire backside. Now this point is on the wire, on the extended wire. Then the magnetic field due to that wire equal to the 0. Okay. So magnetic field due to this wire is equal to the 0 at this point. Why? Because this point is on the extended wire of this one. So we got. And the next see. That means here we have the one part here, second, third. So magnetic field is the first part, we got already mu naught 4 pi I by r. Second we got already here. Third part magnetic field equal to the 0. That means here the magnetic field is due to the first part and second part only. Next here we have to add up this magnetic fields of subtractor. That means we have to find the direction. So already you know the right hand. So keep the right according to the right hand, keep the thumb in the direction of the current. Current direction, stretch the fingers where we have to find the magnetic field. So inside. Magnetic field is inside here. So the magnetic field due to this semi-infinite wire is inside. Now come to see the curved part. So this curved part is in, suppose I am considering here current is upward direction. So here I have to find the magnetic field inside. That means the magnetic field due to this wire inside only, the magnetic field is due to this curved part also inside only. So both will be add up and total magnetic field is due to the first wire and second wire. I am not considering the third wire. Why? Because the magnetic field due to this wire equal to the 0. So add up this 2. So here mu naught by 4 pi I by r due to the first wire and due to the curved part mu naught by 4 pi into I by r 3 pi by 2. Here mu naught I by 4 pi r is a common. Then either we have the 1 and here 3 pi by 2. We will get the answer. Answer is the C. C is the right answer. Next question, fourth question. The magnetic field of a given length of wire for single turn coil at its center is B. If a wire is single turn, then the magnetic field at the center is B. Then its value for 2 turns coil for the same wire taking. Single wire they are taking 1 turn, then magnetic field at the center is B. Then same wire making the 2 turns. Then what will happen? Radius will be decreases. How much it will? We have to find that one also. Okay, for circular arc I said already the magnetic field at the center is B equal to the, suppose n number of turns are there, multiply with the n. So magnetic field B equal to the n terms are there, n into mu naught by 4 pi into I by r into angle made by that circular arc. Already I said this formula. R is the radius of the circular arc, pi is the angle between the two ends of the circular arc. Okay, now see here, first one. How many turns are there? 1 turn. What is the radius of this one? R, small r. So substitute here. So n equal to how many terms? 1. So 1 into something only. Mu naught by 4 pi into I by radius is the r. Pi, how much angle making? Circular na 360 degrees. 2 pi. So 2 pi 1, so 2 pi 2, then we will get mu naught I by 2r. So magnetic field at the center is equal to mu naught I by 2r. That is equal to B they given. Okay, B, that is equal to B. Next come to see the second one. Here they took the same wire but making the 2 turns. By making the 2 turns, the length of this one equal to the, okay, so length of this one same length both have. Now the new radius equal to the r dash. How many turns are there? 2 turns. What is the perimeter of the single turn? 2 pi r dash. Why? Because radius is r dash na, 2 into 2 pi r dash. Initially how much is there? 2 pi r. Year length both are same. Equate this one. 2 pi r equal to the 2 into 2 pi r dash, then we will get the r dash equal to the r by 2. If single turn is there, radius is the r. If same wire making the 2 turn, then radius will be decreases. How much it will decrease means the decrease radius is r dash equal to r by 2. Now for this one we have to apply the same formula. How many turns are there? 2 turns. N equal to 2. 2 into mu naught by 4 pi into I by r. R is the radius of this one. What is the radius? R by 2. R by 2 into pi. What is the angle made by the circle? 360. 2 pi. Substitute here. And next, so see 2 into mu naught by 4 pi into this 2 I am sending upside. So I by r into 2 into either 2 pi is there 2 pi. 2 pi 1, so 2 pi 2s. To get same this way, I am cancelling only 2 pi 1s, 2 pi 2s. I will get 2 into 2, 4 here. Mu naught by either 2 pi cancel again at 2. So mu naught I by 2r, mu naught I by 2r. Mu naught I by 2r is nothing but the B. So 4 into B. If you make the wire 2 turns, the magnetic field at the center will become 4 times to the initial. Okay, that remember, like this you have to do. And next to see the question number 5. The figure shows the situation when an electron moves with electron. Every student will make the mistake here only. Electron moves with velocity v, travels through a uniform magnetic field B bar. In each case, that the direction of the magnetic force on the electron is. Okay, so here electron, one particle is moving in the uniform magnetic field, force is acting on that one. The force formula also, you know, BQV sin theta, we will write formula F equal to BQV sin theta. Otherwise we can write Q into V bar cross V bar. Okay, this we will write force formula, how much force is acting. Now see, we are whatever the right hand we are using, that is for the positive particle, but here electron we have the negative particle. Okay, so whatever the direction we are getting, opposite to that direction we have to take. See the first case. In first case में the magnetic field in the direction of the, so this is the x, this is the y, this is the negative x, this is the negative y, and outside is the positive z, inside is the positive z, inside is the negative z. Okay, so this side I am showing, so this z, inside is the negative z, inside negative z, outside positive. So then keep now here x minus x, y minus y, plus z minus z, remember that one. So here magnetic field is in the direction of the negative y direction and the velocity of the electron in the direction of the negative x axis. Okay, so right hand only we have to use. Here the here how to use means to keep the fingers in the direction of the magnetic field and keep the thumb in the direction of the velocity. So then palm will show the direction of the force. Okay, now magnetic field is downward direction and electron is going in the negative x direction. So now y direction, electron is going, magnetic field is in the negative y axis and electron is moving in the negative x axis. The force acting outward direction. Outward means positive z axis. This is for the positive particle. So here it is the electron negative. So opposite to this one. See here force is positive z axis na. So the force acting on the electron is opposite side, negative z axis. The force acting on the first case is negative z axis. Okay, same way we have to check here also. Now B bar is inside negative z axis and V bar is along the negative y axis. Now fingers in the negative z inside, okay, fingers in the toward the negative z axis and particle is moving in the negative y axis. So z is showing this direction, magnetic field, and electron is moving in this direction. Force is in this direction. In this direction means positive x axis on the this force is on the positive particle, but here electron they given. So force is in this side. This side is nothing but the negative x axis. So either negative x axis. Okay, third case see now. Magnetic field is in the positive y direction and electron is moving in the negative y direction. So here the angle between these two is nothing but the 180 degrees. If you substitute here BQV sin theta formula is there, theta equal to the 180, sin 180 equal to 0. That means force acting on this particle is the 0. That means if the electron or if the particle is moving along the magnetic field or anti-parallel opposite to the parallel to the magnetic field or anti-parallel to the magnetic field, force acting on that particle equal to the 0. So in this case the force acting is equal to the 0. Now see options. First case में negative z axis, second case में negative x axis and the third case में 0. So B option is the right answer. Clearly take it. Here they given the electron. Okay, whenever you are using the rule, take care. Okay, next question. Proton, deuteron and alpha particle have the same kinetic energy, are moving in a circular trajectory. If these are moving in the circular trajectory means this particle are projected perpendicular to the magnetic field. Circular trajectory means perpendicular to the magnetic field. Okay, so moving in a circular trajectory in a constant magnetic field, the radius of proton, deuteron and alpha particles are respectively r suffix p, r suffix d, r suffix alpha they given. Which of the following relation is correct, they are asking. So if a particle is moving in the circular trajectory in a uniform magnetic field, the radius formula R equal to the mv by bq. Already we know this formula. From the dual nature, one more also there. We know the, from kinematics also we know the relationship between the momentum and kinetic energy. So P equal to square root of 2mk. K is nothing but the kinetic energy. So now here mb is nothing but mass into velocity is the momentum. So at the place of momentum I am writing a square root of 2mk by bq. 2mk by bq. And the next other case also we can write k is nothing but the qv. If it is accelerated by the v voltage, then qv also we will write. That formula also we can. So here in these two, which is applicable, means they given the same kinetic energy, na? So this formula is applicable. So from this, they given in the question kinetic energy is same. So this is the constant to the three particles, and mass is not same. These three particles have the different masses, and both three are moving projected in the uniform magnetic field. So B also constant. So 2 is the constant. Which are the variable? Mass and charge. So now radius of the circular trajectory is directly proportional to the square root of m by q. Square root of m by q. Okay. Now I am taking the ratio of the radius, proton, deuteron, alpha particle. So now this one, square root of m by q na. So mass of the square root of mass of the proton by charge of the proton. Square root of mass of the deuteron by charge of the deuteron. Square root of the mass of the alpha particle by charge of the alpha particle. Okay. Suppose if the proton ka mass is m and charge is q, deuteron ka mass 1h2 na, so double, so 2m by charge is q, same charge, proton ka deuteron ka charge is same, and mass is different, double to this one, and alpha particle ka mass 4 times 4m, and charge is double to this charge is 2q. Okay. In these three cases, root m by q, root m by q, root m by q, all will be cancelled. If root m by q cancel, then here we will get the 1. Here root m by q cancel, either root 2 is there, root 2, either root m by q will be cancelled, but root 4 is there, root 4 value is 2, 2 by 2 means 1. Okay. Here, so here ratio, see, rp is to rd is to r5 equal to 1 is to root 2 is to 1. So rp r alpha both are 1 1, that means rp equal to the r alpha, rp equal to the r alpha. Okay. But rd equal to the root 2, root 2 means 1.414, that means that is greater than this 2. So rd is greater than the proton and alpha particle. The radius of the deuteron is greater than the proton and alpha particle, and alpha particle and proton ka radius is same. From which option? A option is the right answer. Like this you have to solve the problems. See the next question, question number 7. A closed loop PQRS carrying a current is placed in a uniform magnetic field. Placed in the uniform magnetic field. If the magnetic force is on the segment PS is F1, SR is F2, and RQ is F3. These forces are acting respectively and are in the plane of the paper and along the directions shown. The force of the segment QP is. What is the force acting on this segment PQ? We have to find. Okay. One thing, listen here. If we keep any closed loop in the uniform magnetic field, the net force acting on that one equal to the 0. The force acting on that one, net force acting on that loop equal to the 0. That means the net force acting on this loop is equal to the 0. So these forces will be cancelled out and net force will become 0. But they are asking what is the force acting on this one. So that means sum of the forces due to this force segment is equal to the 0 we have to do. So net force equal to 0 na. So force due to this one, force due to this one, force due to this one, force due to this one equal to the 0. So now here see now. This force is acting in this direction means negative x-axis. This direction means positive x-axis. This direction means negative y-axis. This direction means positive y direction. Plane they mention, that's why xy plane only I am taking. Okay. Now net force equal to 0. Now the force acting on this one along the negative x-axis. So unit vector along the minus I cap. So F1 into minus I plus, and force acting on this one is the F3 into positive x-axis direction plus I cap. Force is acting in this one is the F3, F2, and that is in the negative y direction, so minus j cap, plus force acting on this one FPQ equal to the, or QP or PQ, QP equal to the 0. So sum of these forces equal to the 0. If we keep the closed loop in the uniform magnetic field, the net force acting on that one equal to the 0. They are asking one segment of force. So sum of the sum of the forces of 4 segments equal to the 0. So I written here. Okay, we need this one FQP. So FQP equal to the, so this one is the minus IF1, send this side, it will become plus IF1, and this is the plus F3I, send this side, minus F3I, it will become, this is the minus F2J, send this side, plus F2J. So here I component take the common, if I take the I cap, F1 minus F3 plus F2J cap. Now find the magnitude of this force. Already you know this is in the x I cap plus pi j cap form, then magnitude equal to the square root of x square plus y square. So square root of x square plus we have the F1 minus F3 whole square plus y square means F2 square. So here F1 minus F3 whole square or F3 minus F1 whole square, we will get the same value. See the options, F1 minus F3 whole square plus F2 square, F3 minus F1 whole square plus F2. So F1 minus F3 whole square or F3 minus F1 whole square, both are same, plus F2 square plus F2 square. D option is the right answer. Now come to see the 8th question. A beam of electrons is moving with constant velocity in a region having the electron and magnetic fields of strength. Electric field का strength 20 volt per meter, magnetic field का strength 0.5 Tesla. A right angle to the direction of the motion of the electron. Remember here, if the electric field and magnetic field are perpendicular to the motion of the electron, then the force exerted by the magnetic field equal to the force exerted by the electric field. Okay, now remember that one. If magnetic field and electric fields are perpendicular to the motion of the electron, then forces are cancel out. That means the force exerted by the electric field equal to the force exerted by the magnetic field. Okay. Then here they are saying that that means here it is moving with the constant velocity. It is moving with a constant velocity means the force exerted by both are cancelling each other. So electron is going straight line and with the constant velocity. So now force due to the magnetic field is BQV and force due to the electric field is QE, and these both are equal. That's why the particle is moving with the uniform velocity and in the straight line path. Now equate this one, we will get the V equal to Q by B, E value and B value given. From that we will get the velocity equal to the 40 meter per second. Suppose if the electric field and velocity of the particle and the magnetic field all are in the same direction, so then the magnetic force acting on the particle equal to the 0. Already I said in the previous problem, the angle between the velocity and magnetic field is 0 or 180 degrees, then force acting on that one due to the magnetic field is 0. So force acting on the magnetic field equal to the 0. Now this particle is moving along the electric field, so then it will be accelerated. Okay, if it is positive particle, accelerated. Okay, so like this. If all are in the same direction, then this will be straight line and accelerated motion. If the electric field and magnetic field are perpendicular to the motion of the particle, then the particle will move with the uniform velocity, no acceleration here. Why? Because the force due to the magnetic field and force due to the electric field cancel out, and it will move with the uniform velocity in the straight line path. Remember that one. Next to come to see the inner and outer radius of the toroid. Toroid they given. Toroid core are 28 cm and 29 cm. Inner and outer radius are 28 and 29 cm respectively. And the number of turns also they given, 3700 turns of a wire are wounded. If the current in the wire is 10 amperes, current also they given 10 amperes. Then the magnetic field inside core of the toroid. Inside core of the toroid they are asking. So this is the toroid diagram I drawn here. So this is the inside radius, this is the outside core radius. So at the center, the magnetic field due to the toroid at the center equal to the 0, but they are not asking the magnetic field at the center. They are asking the magnetic field inside the core. So inside the core this side. Here they are asking the magnetic field. This we have to find. So already the magnetic field due to the toroid formula we know, V equal to the mu naught into N into I. So mu naught value constant, we know that one. N. What is the small n? Small is N is nothing but the number of turns per unit length. So now small n equal to number of turns per unit length. So number of turns per length. What is the length of the toroid? It is in the circular shape. So then length is nothing but the perimeter of this one. Perimeter is nothing but 2 pi r. So 2 pi r is here for the toroid. We have to take it as the inner core and outer core. That's why radius is nothing but the average of the radius of the inner and outer cores. Okay, now average radius we have to find. Average is nothing but the inner core ka radius is 28, outer core ka radius is the 29 centimeters. Average of this one we will get the 28.5 centimeters. Convert into the meters. 28.5 into 10 power minus 2 meters. And the next substitute this R average value in the number of turns per length. So small n equal number of turns, how many they given? 3700. Okay, n equal to 3700. 2 pi value 3.14. Our average value we found already 28.5 into 10 power minus 2. Substitute here, we will get the answer. Simplify it, 2067 we will get answer, 2067. Okay, next they are asking the magnetic field. So magnetic field equal to the mu naught value already we know 4 pi into 10 power minus 7. N value we got 2067 per length is 2067 into current they given already 10 amperes current given. Substitute and we will get the answer 2.6 into 10 power minus 2 Tesla. Simplify this one, you will get the answer 2.6 into 10 power minus 2 Tesla. 2.6 into 10 power minus 2 Tesla. A is the right answer. Okay. See the next question, 10th question. The question is two long and parallel straight wires A and B are carrying current of 4 amperes and 7 amperes in the same direction. So 4 amperes and 7 amperes in the same direction. A and B current carrying 4 amperes and this one is carrying 7 amperes, both are in the same direction. Are separated by a distance of 5 centimeter. These two are separated by 5 centimeter. The force acting on 8 centimeter section of wire A. So 8 centimeter section they are taking, how much force is acting on that one we have to find. So I1 current is 4 amperes, I2 is a 7 ampere, distance between them is 5 into 10 power minus 2 meters and the length of the wire is 8 into 10 power minus 2 meters. So first remember the formula. Two parallel wires given, if they are asking the force between them, so F equal to mu naught by 4 pi into 2 I1 I2 by D into L. This is the formula, standard formula, remember. Here mu naught by 4 pi constant we know, I1 I2 is the current flowing through the wires, D is nothing but the distance between the two wires and L is nothing but the length of the portion on which force is acting, length of the wire on which the force is acting. Okay, how much length, force is acting on 8 centimeters force is acting. So length equal to that we have to take. Now substitute the values. Mu naught by 4 pi value is 10 power minus 7, 2 into I1 value 4, I2 value 7, L value given 8 into 10 power minus 2 and the distance between them is a 5 centimeters, 5 into 2 power 10 power minus 2. Simplify, we will get the 89.6 into 10 power minus 7 newtons. So here the options are round figures, so take the nearest value, 90 into 10 power minus 7 we will get, 9 into 10 power minus 6 newtons we will get. Answer C is the right answer. Like this you have to solve the problems. Thank you.